Sharon, Keith, nice to see you both again. Did you both bring back your first week's homework? Thank you. Great. All right. Okay. I'd like to start out this week by having you both clarify some of your answers here. Is that all right? Okay. Sharon, we'll start with you. You say here that the issue between the two of you really started in the first year of your marriage. Is there a specific event that you remember that caused you to be concerned about your relationship?
It wasn't an event so much as it was me feeling lonely and being surprised by that. And I remember wondering why Keith didn't want to talk about things the way we talked about them back when we were dating.
What do you mean?
Well, when we dated, we would spend 2 or 3 hours in a restaurant or a coffee shop and we would just talk. That happened a lot. But in the first year of our marriage, I remember thinking, why won't he talk to me anymore? He'd come home from work, I'd ask him how his day was or try to tell him about my day, and it was like talking to a rock.
I talked.
You grunted.
Rocks grunt. See, this is so typical right here. This hypersensitivity and the exaggeration and the blame. Why don't you do this? If you could just do this. I'm always the problem. If we could just fix me. Well, you know what? This is who I am. And if we're here to fix me, I don't really think it's worth anyone's time.
Keith, you say here that on a scale of 1 to 10, you would give your marriage a 6. What number do you think Sharon had?
Probably a negative number. Is that allowed?
Sharon, do you remember what number you put?
Yeah, a 3, I think.
Now, let's first talk about your 6. Keith, are you happy with your 6?
Am I happy? No. Do I gripe about it? No. Do I think a 6 warrants seeing a marriage counselor and spending hundreds of dollars for someone to tell me that if I showed more feelings, everything would be just fine?
Well, would it?
Would what?
Would everything be just fine if you shared your feelings a little bit more?
No. No, everything would be just fine if she quit trying to control me and if she quit nagging so much. And if we had sex more than 9 times a year.
Whoa, now who's exaggerating?
Oh, that is not an exaggeration. I can count the 9 times that we've had sex in the past year.
Yeah, well, having sex with a stranger when I'm exhausted and my body is begging for sleep is not at the top of my list.
9 times. 9 times. With someone who just lays there.
So, this is a 6.
Yeah. You know, I've learned to adjust. It is what it is. Same old, same old. That's how it is.
All right. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to cut to the chase. I'm going to tell you what the problem is with your marriage, and when I'm done, we'll decide if it's worth you guys coming back again next week. Sound fair?
Yeah.
You've only heard the tip of the iceberg.
Sharon,
There's...
I've been talking to couples for 14 years. There's some very common patterns here. I'm going to start with you. You ready?
Yep.
Your problem, the problem with your marriage, is you.
Yeah, figured that.
And the problem is you.
Look, I know I'm not perfect, but...
You didn't hear me. You don't have issues. You are the issue. Both of you. I don't know what you were thinking when you got engaged, but I know what most people were thinking. I'm finally going to be happy. I won't be lonely anymore. I can have sex anytime I want. You think love is this warm feeling you get when someone makes you feel special. Sound familiar? Here's the sad truth. You married pledging to love, honor, and cherish each other. But deep down, you're really thinking, I can't wait for somebody to love, honor, and cherish me. So it ends up becoming this you scratch my back, I'll scratch your back marriage. You talk to me 20 minutes a night and I'll have sex with you once a week. You take care of the house and I'll be nice to the kids. It's not marriage, it's let's make a deal. Started back in the 60s during the game show craze. Had a 14-season run. Do you want a 14-season run? You know, the only way this marriage can survive, the only hope that you have, is if each of you are willing to get to the root of it all. Have the courage to reflect on who you are and who you were created to be.
All right. I'm listening. Where do we go from here?